Exciting.
And we're live, guys. Woo!
Awesome. Hello, everyone.
Hey, hello. Welcome, everyone. Yeah, today we got some UKers joining the live stream with us. Down below, we got Empiretoys 1138. Or how am I supposed to say the numbers actually, Aaron?
1138. So
1138. Okay.
It's basically it's a Star Wars reference because Empire Toys was already taken.
Okay, all right. Is it like a Star Trooper, or which reference is it?
It's just a number that keeps appearing in the films.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
So
all right. And then to my left, or is that the right? I don't know. I have no clue what I'm doing. We got Tom from Pizarro Spaces. How are you doing today, buddy?
All good. All good. Good in the hood.
Good in the hood. All right. So yeah, today we're doing kind of like a special. I brought these two guests in to talk about toy collecting and, toy hunting, toy selling as well in the UK. Yeah, guys, in the chat, definitely let us know where you guys are from so we can kind of like feel the waters, what's going on over here. I guess I should probably, start with explaining how I found out about you guys. I think I've been watching Tom's channel, Pizarro Spaces, for the longest time out of you two. I think when I started out, I found your channel and it was like, this guy has some wicked cool toys, like the stuff you collect. You got all the Gremlins, you got like really weird and obscure stuff as well. So it was like this guy has some amazing stuff, and I like your accent. You have like a really cool voice. So it's always soothing to listen to those videos. And then I found out about Aaron's channel a couple months ago, actually, because we haven't really been talking like for years or anything, but he's been popping on GoPro adventure after GoPro adventure, hunting for those toys over at conventions. Because that's when I realized, because I know Tom was talking about it a lot as well. Like, I got a toy show coming up, but you're like vlogging those almost every 2 weeks. There's one. Is that like a real thing in the UK?
I'm quite lucky to where I am because there's some quite big main ones, and I'm a sort of half an hour train ride into London, so I can hit up straight into London to go to like the main Comic Cons. There's 2 big Comic Cons in London, and also it's like the central of the UK is like Birmingham, and they have a big Comic Con, a big toy fair, and it's only an hour and 40, and that's where my girlfriend lives, and obviously she loves doing this as well. She's in the comments there, Vic, and so it's so much easier having obviously like a girlfriend that's so much into it, because it's just like, do you want to go hunting toys at the weekend? Yes. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, definitely.
It does make it a lot easier, and because she's well into it as well, like she'll take the camera, go filming. She's interested in all the toys, sometimes more than I am.
She has her own collection, or
yeah,
okay, that's pretty awesome. Yeah,
very
we got some returning visitors. We got Nostalgic, we got TXVG Collector 82, and yeah, I think we even got Pizarro's Pieces in the chat. That's awesome. There we go.
So I've got my laptop on here, so I'm looking at all the comments here, and obviously I'm streaming from my phone, ain't I? So
we even have Punk Rock Legends Gino's Eyeball hailing from Belgium in the chat right there. So that's amazing. And USA is here as well.
Yeah, there's a few UK guys here. Ken, Ken's there. Matt, couple of pals. Time Tunnel Toys, another UK. Victoria, obviously, Aaron's missus. There's a few.
Dark Lycan's Baz, he's in here.
Enrique, my friend from Chicago, is there. Got a few. Bugsy's Toy Box.
Yeah.
Yeah, check their YouTube out as well.
Yeah, definitely check him out. And yeah, as we're in the chat right here, definitely leave a like on the video so we can get some more exposure on this subject. I kind of want to know like how you guys met, because I got added into a group called Toy Division because of one of your videos, Aaron, and that's when I found out like, oh, there's like a ton of toy shows, but there's also a ton of really cool collectors and people putting out YouTube content. So how did you and Tom meet?
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah,
go
ahead.
on. I can't remember actually.
I actually won a competition off Tom. He did like one of those Instagram competitions, and I actually won that. And I met him at a toy fair, which is called the Sandown Toy Fair, and we met there. And then I think I was only buying and he was selling. And then a couple of months later was what we had the NEC Toy Fair, and that was my first one that I did selling. And Tom was there, and we just met up at toy fairs constantly, and we just come like a little clique, really.
There's a few of us.
Yeah.
Seems like you got like a nice bunch of guys, really, you know, keeping that toy hunting alive over there. But you wanted to say something, Tom? Sorry, I stepped in there.
Who, me? No, I'm just looking at all the comments. There's loads of people watching.
Yeah, we got Pixel Game Squad coming in.
Yeah.
Got
Tommy Toothpaste, Nark's watching. Hey, what's up, guys?
There we go. Awesome. Narc is in the house. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, I with regards to Aaron, it seems like years, to be honest with you. It probably is now. It's probably got to be 4 or 5 years since the whole UK clique, if that's what you want to call it, all sort of came together. There's sort of 2 or 3 little groups, but we all see each other at the shows. And Aaron done a live stream when was it? No, about 3 or 4 days ago, and there was the 5 of you in it. Obviously, Bugsy's Toy Box and Andy and Anne. And then there's a few others, but they're not on. None of them are on YouTube. So like Ken and Vic and the 2 Robs and that as well. Some of the other guys from the UK. Some of the toy dealers and collectors. But YouTube. It's been a while, so I think people are probably pleased to see my beautiful face because it's been a few weeks since I've been on.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, last video you uploaded was a live stream, right?
Yeah,
a little bit earlier. E2, you did like one of the toy talks during Corona, obviously. How are you guys impacted by the whole measurements that, you know, like in Belgium, we're still in lockdown. We can't go anywhere, unfortunately. Nothing's happening around here. How are you impacted by the whole crisis going on, Aaron?
Basically working from home. So I'm quite lucky in a way to be able to work from home. So that's kind of a blessing. But also nothing's open. None of the toy stores are open. Some of them are still doing, you can order online, but all our events are postponed indefinitely. And basically we're only allowed outside for an hour's exercise a day and to go shopping.
Okay. Yeah.
Basically all you're supposed to go out for.
Yeah. Tom, you had to like stay away from work. Now you were able to go back to work is what I kind of like.
Yeah, my wife works in one of the biggest hospitals in the UK, actually, in London, and she had symptoms. So I had to, if someone's got symptoms, they have to take 7 days off, and the person who lives with them has to take 14 days off. That's what the UK government guidelines are. So I had to take 2 weeks off work, but I went back last Wednesday. I'm still working. My business is air conditioning and refrigeration, but because we deal with supermarkets and hospitals, I'm still needed to work. I suppose I'm seen as a key worker, although there's only a handful of us, and a lot of my staff have been put on this. In the UK, we've got a scheme called furloughing, where the government are paying sort of 80% towards the wages. So a lot of companies are doing that, where they're putting people on this. It's called furlough, where the government will pay 80% of the wages for these people to sort of sit at home effectively and still and keep their jobs safe as such. So the UK are doing as much as they can, I guess, in that sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's the same like over here. You got the economic unemployment thing. So the government pays a big amount of those wages out to people that, for economic reasons or technical reasons, can't go to work, even though um, there should be work. But it seems like starting from this week, some better news has been coming out. Definitely for my company where I work at, some more people have been, have their projects starting up once again. So that's definitely a good thing. We actually got some donations from Pixel Game Squad. Love those guys. It's cool to
Very much.
see, Riff and Ricky also, hunting toys now. So used to be all about retro games, although like the early episodes of the NES Pursuit, they were also, already hunting for those Bucky O'Hare figurines and stuff. So that's always been cool. Nostalgic and our great hunter. He's also donating a little bit. So I mean, a little bit. I mean, $2. Anything's good. I don't even know how you donate on a live chat, to be honest.
How do you actually claim it?
Yeah, I don't know. Like which, like the whole live stream thing happened because we were like, oh, we have to do something, during the crisis, and like I didn't really check any of those configuration things. So I was like, because last time Narc was like, oh, you have to add me to your live chat as a moderator. So, if anybody goes out of line in the chat or starts, like messing around with people, I can, block him or something. I was like, how the hell do you do that, So yeah. Damn, man. Yeah, so
Got a lot
some
of people.
people, yeah. It's definitely like, I don't think I'm at the breaking point yet, but it is getting terribly annoying not being able to go out and, hunt for toys, because that's, the feeling I like getting, going to shows, going to flea markets, or, like you guys call them, the car boots.
They're a bit different to flea markets, but it's basically the same thing.
Is it just that people drive in with their car and they're basically just selling from out of their car, or is that not the main difference?
Pretty much. So they're normally they'll be in a field. So obviously it's all weather dependent. So when it's hot or a bank holiday weekends, they're normally like the busiest. So obviously they go there. All you're allowed to do and sell is whatever you can fit into your car.
Oh, okay. All
so
right.
So they turn up. You basically get your car's length is like your pitch.
Yeah. Okay.
So you go in, set some tables up, put some sort of tarpaulin on the floor to put stuff on the floor, and just whatever you can fit on your car, people sell. And it's kind of an unwritten rule where things there are no more than like £5 to £10.
Okay.
You can go there and you can find like He-Man. If on a good day, you can be finding He-Man figures for like 50p to £1.
I used to watch this guy called Cowabunga Collectibles, and he used to do like the 10 quid challenge or something with his girlfriend or with his wife. Those were always entertaining, and like those were the numbers that they were always throwing out. This was like 3 quid. This was, stuff like that. So we get
definitely getting hard. Definitely getting harder though. Trying to find stuff at them.
Yeah, I think people cleaning up, like if stuff were for like He-Man or Turtles, it is getting tougher because those kids have grown up. So either they already sold all their stuff. It's getting more scarce each year, I guess, with summer cleanups and stuff like that, to find a big bunch of old toys. So yeah, is it Rice Toys, RY Toys and stuff is asking, do you have a future UK hunting trip planned? I want to. I have nothing, set in the books. Renzo and Matthias, they were going like, there's supposed to be like a London gaming event going on in July.
Is that gaming? For retro gaming or?
Yeah, retro gaming.
I think they call it. There's a gaming mart in London.
Yeah, it's probably gaming mart, but I think they're
the market. Yeah, but is it still gonna go on?
I I
Like
think
I
I
don't know.
saw Tutu UK in here, who
Yeah, yeah,
also has a YouTube channel, and he's well into his retro games and everything. Stu's well in there, and he's like,
How you doing, Stu?
he'll be able to tell you more about it if he whacks a comment in, but because
yeah.
yeah, he's full into his gaming.
Yeah. Anyways, Renzo was thinking about that, and then I was gonna like, you know, hit you guys up and be like, hey, can we make this into a weekend? But it's all depending on, do we like, is this going to be possible with the crisis going on? If there's too much, you know, drama around it, I'm not going to do it. One thing I was going to do is like head out to Camden as well to see Monkey's Emporium. I've been hearing some good stuff about that, but you know, I was going to hit you guys up for sure to see if there's other cool stores out there, you know. So yeah, is Ed American living in Belgium? No, I'm a Belgian living in Belgium trying to speak American. That's basically it. So as you guys were mentioning before, you seem to be from like 3 different groups of you know, collectors that know each other, that kind of get together at the toy fairs. And I gotta say, for me, it was the same thing. Most of the collectors I know that are really into like the good stuff, they're a little bit older than me, and it was like a world opening up once I found out, hey, there are people actually doing this, because retro gaming was really big in Belgium, and it still is. But like the vintage toy community was kind of like more obscure, a bit more difficult to get into. Like, how is that for you, Tom? Because I think you've been doing it a bit longer than me. How long have you been collecting?
Oh God. I've been collecting since 1990, so 30 years. But on
What?
off, yeah. So I started collecting Gremlins in 1990 because it was when Gremlins 2 had come out. But I was still quite young. I was only like 7, 8 at that time. And then I was into sort of Power Rangers, Jurassic Park in sort of 93, and other toy lines like Swamp Thing, but never used to play with them, just opened them and put them on the shelf and displayed them. But I never kept any of them. Like so many people, you kind of, when I got to 14, 15, 16, I started getting into the WWF again, into wrestling. So then it was something else. And then all of a sudden, when I got to maybe 22, 23, I started rebuying stuff. But I wasn't as serious as I have been the last 5, 6 years. The last 5, 6 years, since I turned 30, pretty much, I've got a lot more serious. But yeah, obviously, I wish I'd kept so much of all that stuff, because I had everything. But it's probably one of the reasons why I don't collect Jurassic Park or Power Rangers, is because I did literally have it all. I collect, apart from Gremlins, a lot of stuff I collect now is more because I like it, but also some stuff I kind of maybe had one of as a kid, but then I think maybe I want 5 of the different things now. Like Battle Beasts, for example, I had a handful of them when I was little, probably when I was like 5 or 6, but now I've got a complete Battle Beast collection. So I don't
Like
know, you
complete
can do it
with
now.
the laser beasts and stuff in there too?
No lasers. Just
You mean like
series
the
1
first
to
run?
3. Yeah, first 3 series. Yeah.
Okay,
But
that's so
yeah, I mean,
epic.
it's very different now, because obviously as an adult and people earning money and being paid, you can effectively, you know, if you, I mean, I don't go out partying no more. I've done all that. I did all that in my 20s. So most of my money goes on holidays and all this, to be honest with you. So yeah, it's good. I wouldn't change it for nothing.
When did you start dealing toys?
5 years this year. So in 2015, I started Pizarro's Pieces. So originally it was just I was just on Instagram, and I was doing a lot of sales through Instagram, and I started doing toy shows. I didn't really meet like Aaron and some of the other guys till maybe it was probably like a year, maybe 18 months after I'd come on the scene, because I was fresh faced and I was kind of doing it on my own. But there was kind of a bit of a trend going with guys in their maybe late 20s to late 30s that had sort of become dealers, because the older generation who were selling toys, like trains and cars and stuff, they were slowly fizzling out. And all of a sudden, it was an influx of people selling action figures. I mean, this was going on before I came onto the scene 5 years ago. But 5 years ago, you could actually find stuff like very, very easy. You could buy stuff very, very well. It was only about maybe 2.5 years ago, 2 years ago, that it started. All of a sudden, there was just an influx of people that came on to collect and that came on to resell as well. So it's obviously it become a lot more difficult in probably 2018, I'd say. Since then, it's got harder and harder, and the competition's a lot more stiff, and all the pricing has gone through the roof of everything. But I still love it. I mean, I won't change it. I have no plans to give up selling. The weird thing is I haven't actually done a toy show this year because I took a little bit of a break from it. At the end of 2019, my first show was meant to be NEC, but we had NEC in Birmingham, but we had some bad weather here, and I opted against it because Birmingham's about a 2.5 hour drive for me up north. And I said, I just thought, you know what, I'm not going to do it.
I think I saw that on your Facebook. Like, I'm not going to head out tomorrow because it's a long drive early in the morning and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some of the toy dealers were cussing me and DMing me saying you wuss and all this sort of stuff, but I just didn't want the aggro. I didn't want to potentially get stuck up there. And from what I heard, it wasn't a particularly great show anyway. It was very quiet. So, yeah, but I mean, I haven't done a show this year. I mean, we're nearly 4 full months in. I would have normally done maybe 4 or 5 by now. And I haven't done any. Obviously, it's eating me up that I can't get out there, and because I love being one as well. So
I'm happy. I at least got like 3 or 4 conventions in this year. So otherwise, dang, honestly. So Aaron, how about you? How long have you been collecting, and around what time did you start reselling? Because you do set up at conventions as well, I do believe, right? Yeah.
So I was quite lucky for extent. So I'm pure 90s kid. I was born in 1990, but I had an older brother. Okay. So it was a lot of I grew up watching like Transformer video VHS and Thundercats VHS because obviously that was still in the house. But basically, I sort of got into the collecting side of it because when I was getting Star Wars figures, like the Kenner Star Wars figures in the 90s. My brother was buying them and keeping them in the box as a collector.
Okay.
So you're sort of seeing someone doing that while you get home and you're like ripping them open to play with them and everything because you're like a 5-year-old kid. And then you're looking around and your brother's like, you don't kind of get it, do you? He's like sort of putting it in a box to keep it.
Yeah, because I saw your collection tour. And then like a week later, you did like your hunting in the attic.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, how much stuff does this guy have? Power Rangers related. It's insane.
there's another 2. Well, there'll be another second part that I filmed, and there'll be a third video as well because there was still like about 6 or 7 boxes just full of stuff.
All right, that's gonna be cool.
So about 2015, I sort of started doing the toy fairs. I did a few bits of the car boots beforehand, and cheers Stu. There'll be 3 more episodes of that, maybe even a 4th. How long I can drag it out for. But so I did my first show in 2015 at the NEC where me and my cousin Andy from Andy's Toys and Models.
Yeah.
Me and him shared a stall together.
Okay.
So like a 6-foot table, and when we started out, we just had enough stuff for half each.
Yeah. Me as well. Like the first time I started, selling off doubles was at a gaming convention, and I would get like 3 buddies to fill one table because I would literally have one shoebox, make 100 euros selling everything, and then I could just walk around and buy new stuff at the convention. But this was like 6-7 years ago, so yeah. But now I have like enough stuff to buy 2 reserve 2 tables and set up t-shirts and stuff.
That's the thing. Like
it's insane how we grow. I think.
Or in July, in was it February? Luckily, I got it in just before everything closed down. But me and Vic, we did the London Film and Comic Con. So gone from 5 years ago, half a table with Andy, to all the way like having a stall at a Comic Con, like full blown, like one table but with a backing table. So it does grow, and if you sort of manage it correctly and buy well, yeah. Next one was going to be the main London Comic Con, but unfortunately that's cancelled now because that would have been in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the Comic Cons in Belgium have been canceled too. Too bad. Like, how is? Because I'm more of a vintage guy, not really into like the new stuff. How much vintage is there out there at like a Comic Con for the UK?
At Comic Con, there'll be stuff there, but you'll be paying top end prices.
Yeah, I agree.
And we're not even talking like, oh yeah, I can, I'm at a Comic Con. You're like, oh, like wow.
I think it's hard for us though because me and Aaron sell as well. We're more we won't pay that price. I know it sounds a bit silly, but it's like, oh, if you look, the thing is straight away with toys, no matter what, modern or vintage, a lot of the time, 90% of the time, people will compare to eBay. People will go on eBay and see what they can get it for. And when you go to a big Comic Con like London one, because the table prices to stall out are so high, a lot of dealers have to put their prices up in line with with that theory, basically, that the table prices are phenomenal, so my prices have got to go up quite a bit. It's not always the case. Like, I mean, Aaron is an example, and Ken, because I was at London Comic Con as well. My friend Ken, the prices, you boys done the prices the same. I didn't see any different. Ken didn't start marking up his prices to go in line with it. But the thing is, a lot of people's theories, especially sellers, is that someone will pay for it sooner or later. Someone will buy it, and then that's where the market becomes an issue because, a He-Man figure, a complete He-Man figure with shield, sword, and axe, may a few years ago was sort of £20, £25. But as soon as people were willing to pay £35 for it, it shoots to 35. And now all of a sudden people are willing to pay 50 for it. Then that's the market. The market's set there because people are going to pay it. They're effectively setting the market. So although we're saying, oh yeah, some of the prices are through the roof, the people that are actually paying for it, they're setting that market. They're setting that price by paying these guys these phenomenal prices. So, but yeah, I do have to agree with Aaron. The vintage toys at Comic Cons through the roof. If you want vintage toys in the UK, you're best off going to proper toy shows like Sandown Park and the NEC. And there's a few peppered around up north. I think Doncaster have one. There's a few that are all part of that one group, which is obviously BP Toy Fairs. They do shows all around the UK.
Are they cheaper, like 2D UK is explaining?
Yeah. So the toy, if you were going to looking for a good toy hunt, I wouldn't recommend the Comic Cons because obviously, like we just said, you'll be paying for it. But coming to the toy fairs in the UK, that's where you're going to be finding your bargains. That's where you're going to be finding your content there.
Well, I think like obviously London will attract more international people as well to the Comic Cons. Maybe that's why they're pricing it. I don't know if there's a difference area wise for the Comic Cons or for like the toy fairs guest wise. If like the London ones are probably going to have better guests, attracting more people.
Sure, yeah. Usually the London one, and like you said, because it's so diverse, and the London shows are right in central London as well. Whereas other shows are sort of outside of London in some sort of sometimes like rural areas that are not really that known on the map. Not like London, for example. Like Sandown, for example. Sandown's just outside London, but it's not really an area that's. I mean, it's at a race course. If you're a gambler or you're into horse racing, then you'll know it. But apart from that, most people probably not heard of the area or as such. But yeah, like Tootie, like Stu was saying, they call it London tax. Some people, because they're selling in London, they were going to put their prices up maybe 10% or whatever. And then if they're doing a show, say in Birmingham, then the prices will come back down because they're in one of the big cities in the UK. But obviously London is the capital and the main city. But not just that either; it's the cost of the outgoing. So a table at one toy show might be £60. For example, some of the BP toy shows are £60, whereas London Comic Con, I think, was, Aaron will be able to tell you, I think it was about 250, was it? I think £250.
Something about that, yeah, maybe just a little bit less.
So that although that is for 2 days as well, it is still quite. If you've got 3 tables and backing tables with transport and maybe a hotel and everything, you're looking at over £1,000 before you've even took any money to stall out. It's a lot of money if you're only small time like us guys.
I think the visitor numbers are also way bigger than the other toy fairs.
Yeah.
Although the toy fairs are probably more of your crowd that are actually looking for it, maybe. So it's making the decision: do I want to go, and get enough publicity for what I'm trying to sell here? Maybe not that people are really into it, but just want to see, maybe get into it. Compared to like the smaller toy shows, it's the same thing in Belgium. Like Comic Cons are pretty pricey to get a table. Although now the Comic Cons have been setting up a vintage area where tables are a little bit more cheap, but they're kind of tucked away as well. Which is like a good compromise, I think, to still get the people out there that want to buy those vintage toys, and then you have like the regular toy fairs or toy gatherings where people come and sell stuff, which is way cheaper. It's like maybe 1/10 of what a table costs over at a Comic-Con. So yeah, I think it's kind of the same for us, obviously. One thing I wanted to kind of talk about as well was actually, now there's one thing I've been really hardcore into lately, and that is collecting Toxic Crusaders. And actually, I did a video on Toxic Crusaders. I was mentioning in there that there was an unproduced toy. And like 2 or 3 days later, I look on Instagram and I find this dude that has made that toy. Now, this guy, I think he's from Sweden. He's been, let me see if I can share something right here. Okay, so I'm sharing this. So yeah, today you can also go and pre-order that unofficial collector's guide by Scott from Denmark. So that should be up now. I was actually waiting, trying to oh, now I can finally add it to the cart. Awesome. Okay. Red Plastic is the other book we were talking about last stream. You can still order that one. But over here, we got pre-order Polluto. I don't know if you guys have seen this going around. So this is basically Technodrome and toys. I hope it's probably like something on Technodrome, but then the Swedish name of the Technodrome, I'm guessing. So yeah, basically he made this prototype a reality. Yeah, as you can tell, like he's been working on this for like a year and a half, actually. And you can see like the sculpting over here. You can see him painting it. He did it together with stuff by Henderson. They're creating a box for it as well. It's got lovely artwork on there. The price on it is $200, which I think like the people that aren't too familiar with, buying a custom toy might sound like a lot. I don't know how you feel about that, guys. What do you think about that, Tom?
What do I think about the product or the price?
The price for a custom like this.
The thing is, I mean, they call them, what do they call it? It's like a designer toy, effectively. Although this is based on an original prototype and that, but the designer toys, they're going to be quite expensive, and they're going to be unique. They're going to be minimal numbers. I mean, I'm not massive into Toxic Crusaders. I say this, I got this on the table I showed you guys earlier, which is the Toxic Crusader, obviously Toxic. I picked this up quite recently on card. But if I was a big Toxic Crusader fan, yeah, £200 is quite a lot of money, but it's something that's quite unique. How many does it say they're going to be limited or to a certain
there's
amount?
only going to be 20.
That's super limited. That's really,
but
really
he's
limited.
making them by hand, so it's not like they're putting them in production. All of these are made by hand.
So, yeah, you got to take that into account. You got to take that into account that the guy's putting his time, his money, his hours into creating this for a small community. Obviously, 20 people potentially. Well, yeah, it's going to be 20 people that are going to get hold of it. Yeah, someone else just mentioned called art toys. Yeah, so designer toys, art toys, sort of custom made stuff. They tend to be a lot more expensive than some original toys like vintage toys and stuff. To be honest with you, because they're being handmade and they're so unique. I think it's a cool item. I think it's anyone who's into Toxic Crusaders should have one. I mean, if that was a Gremlins prototype that was
never released,
then yeah, it would be in my collection before we could end this live stream. So
yeah, for me, it's like the Toxic Crusader line. It's only 10 action figures, 5 vehicles, and this would be like the giant toy that was gonna come out for it. So I'm like, I know it's $200, but then again, if you get a Motu custom figure or another custom figure, you're gonna have to put down almost $100 for that one, especially if it would come on a blister, if it would come with the box. This is a giant figure, so it's twice the size of a regular one. Lots of hours going into that. So what did I do? I kind of like spoke to the guy through Instagram. So he's from Sweden, and I was like, I'm really interested in this. The price is holding me just back a little. Like where did you find out about this? And he's like, yeah, it's been so cool working on this. I've been working on it for a year and a half. And I never thought when he, uploaded the pictures that he would get so many reactions, because people started, cross-posting it in the TMNT Facebook groups and stuff. And I was like, damn, I got to get this thing. So I spoke to him and I was like, convince me, send me some footage of the toy so I can actually see that it moves, what it looks like. And let's take a little look at that one right now, if I can find it. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, that's supposed to work, I think. Is it working? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it looks like it's working. Oh yeah, he is quite a size, ain't he? He's not little like one of the figures.
But you look at the detail on it, look at like the little fish bones in it and everything. It's exactly what you want from your Toxic figure, isn't it?
I like the colors on it as well, it's got that Playmates feel to it. A lot more of details have been colored in, because I think like some of these fish bones might have, like, in the end result, or like the mass produced toy might not have gotten that color. Green. I love the way, because Polluto, he was in the cartoons. He actually grew out of like oil kegs, and that's like what's coming back here. So yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm already sold on this toy, but again, it's kind of expensive. So on the 28th of April, it's going live on his Etsy. So check out Technodrome Toys on Instagram, and if you want to get one, how do you feel about this, Aaron?
My theory on it is that price is never going to go down. It's never going to get less than that. It's only going to go up. And as Carlos put on there in the comments, I've just seen someone's going to end up putting it on eBay for way more than that. So, and it's true. It is true, and it's going to happen. But like I said, it's never going to get less than that. It's only going to get more. You're paying for someone's time. If it's blown up as much as he said it is, and it's not expected, maybe he might do another run.
Yeah.
Maybe he could look into maybe doing like a GoFundMe on it, because it's an awesome toy.
Yeah, I don't know if like the market is there for it. Like, I'm really excited about it, but I don't know how big the Toxic Crusader collectors market is. part of the Toxic Crusader market that is willing to pay for a reproduced or a custom toy, you know?
I think it's got a big cult following.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I think it's
definitely.
and I think like it's been mentioned many times. You could have a Toxie figure and you can stick it straight in your Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles collection, and it doesn't look out of place, does it?
No,
At
no.
all.
I mean, yeah, it's
It's
both
just a
blade
cool
mates,
thing.
so
People are gonna buy it for their collections. People are gonna buy it for the brownie points and all that sort of stuff. And 200 quid or $200. There's other things out there that are that price as well. Do you know what I mean? It's not.
yeah,
It's
The,
just like
the,
you
I'm
want to.
not like that much into newer toys. I know you guys somewhat are, and it seems to me like newer toys seem to be really pricey. Or am I getting like it's not an abnormality to find like a newer toy already retailing at 40 to maybe 60. Obviously those are, you know, targeted to the adult collectors and they're really detailed, but still a lot of money, right? For one.
It's all supply and demand, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
So like you get that the I don't know the Red Hulk out in America.
Yeah.
People are going mad for it, and I don't know how much it cost out there, but I saw everyone complaining about it, going it's triple the price on eBay and everything. But it's going to happen, isn't it? And that's just other collectors doing other collectors out, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
the
unfortunately.
the only thing I'd say about this Toxic Crusader Polluto not prototype but custom made is the timing is not particularly good, because obviously what's going on around the world and everything, and I think there's quite a lot of people collecting toys, collecting collectibles, even these kind of things, because this effectively isn't really a toy. I mean, someone put in the comments, JD Deluxe said it's more like a piece of art. You're not.
Yeah.
It's art. It is more art. But the problem is it's expensive anyway. The best of times is to try and keep up with the hobby. If you're into a certain line, say Star Wars, for example, which is probably the worst example because they're constantly bringing stuff out, it's hard to keep up with it. Now, for someone to try and drop $200 on something, with everything that's going on, with obviously the uncertainty with jobs, and a lot of people's jobs are up in the air. Yeah, it's not for the guy. What was the guy's name? Technodrome. It's not obviously his fault if he already pre-planned this 3-4 months ago. It is what it is, and you try and get it out there. But I think if this was maybe 6 months ago, you probably would have people biting his hand off. Whereas now, he may struggle a little bit to. There are a lot of people out there that have got the $200 like that, but then there's a lot of people who are into Toxic Crusaders who may not, who may be thinking, well, I've got $200, but I don't know whether I'm going to be able to afford my shopping for the next few weeks. So yeah, I think with everything that's going on in the world, I think it's difficult, ain't it? You know, would I drop $200 on something at the minute? Probably not. Not right at this moment in time. I probably wouldn't myself. So yeah, but it is a really cool item, definitely, for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of like holding me back as well because there's no shows going on, so nothing coming in from selling doubles. There's also no gigs that I get to play because I like all the other hobby money I get in from playing guitar that goes into my collection as well. But I've been looking around. Maybe I can sell something and try getting this toy. We even have Toy Galaxy in the live chat. How freaking amazing is that?
Big fan.
Larson.
Great channel.
Man, love that channel.
Laura Legends.
What?
Just hit 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah, her content is amazing. Like the stuff she knows about the toys and the skits she does as well. Like the geeky skits, they're amazing. So she says they might be remaking the Toxic Avenger.
I'm all there just for the dog.
I know Super 7 are doing some, ain't they?
Yeah.
I don't know about remake. I don't know if they're being remade though.
I did see something they're bringing out like a glow in the dark.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I don't know who's making it. I've just seen a few people posting it around. That looks. I've got no. I don't remember it being on TV or anything. I think I just missed when it was on.
Yeah.
But like seeing like my friend of mine Dan collecting it, seeing when I did the stream with the Bugsy Boys the other day, they had a load of vehicles come in. Seeing your video on it was cool. A friend of ours, Theo, who does another YouTube channel, Slimehouse TV, he did a crazy like episode on it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a cool tool line. Like, I think if people are into
he
it,
has the hideous hovercraft, right? I was like, oh, he has that thing I need. So Laura Legends was actually referring to the movie, but I think what I saw was that they were trying to reintroduce the cartoon by Troma Films. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely some stuff developing over at the Toxic camp. So yeah,
it definitely fit into modern times, wouldn't it? We're all here for the saving the environment, aren't we?
saving the environment. I mean, Captain Planet needs to
Say,
do a
bring
comeback
Captain
as
Planet
well.
back. I'll be there for that.
Crossover Toxic Crusaders and Captain Planet.
Team up. Do it.
I see there's a couple of questions that popped up. We might have missed them because there's one of them was probably aimed at me because I don't think you haven't been to Chicago, Ed, have you?
No, I've only been to Texas. I was going to come to those, but yeah, we can start, picking up questions over here. So I'll go and grab that one. Obviously, it's directed to you, so you can already start answering, buddy.
I've lost it now. Where is it?
How much is it different from hunting in Chicago to the UK?
Very different. very. I think America in general is very, very different to the UK. We're obviously a much smaller island. There was a lot of toys that weren't released here in the 80s and 90s, so the demand for certain figures or certain toy lines is huge here. But Chicago is quite unique anyway, and the fact that it's got, I think, maybe 8 or 10 vintage toy shops. One that I used to go to regularly has just closed, but my friend Enrique from Chicago has informed me that another one's just opened in March. So one closed in February and a new one opened in March. So there's quite a few good shops over there. But obviously, I always go over there for the Kane County Toy Show, which is on twice a year. It's on in April and October. Now, lo and behold, I'm going to get really annoyed just saying this. I was meant to be flying to Chicago tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. So, yeah, I'm obviously a bit peed at the minute because my holiday's been cancelled. So the Kane County Toy Show was meant to be on this Sunday. So me and my friend Ken from Back to the Toys have had to cancel it and try and maybe rebook it for October. But
is the toy show actually going on, or is it also cancelled?
No, it's been cancelled. It was cancelled. Yeah, it got cancelled about five or 6 weeks ago. But obviously, if things had changed and they said that if the coronavirus weren't as bad and flights have been reopened, then we would have gone to Chicago still, because the massive amount of shops they've got there. It would have, we could have done 2-3 days of toy hunting anyway with all the shops. But yeah, I mean, there is no comparison. I'll be honest with you. When it comes to the UK, we've got a few okay shops here. They're few and far between. We've got probably the most known one is probably Leicester Vintage Toys, which is Leicester's sort of like Midlands, so middle of the UK. You've got Monkey's Emporium, which is in Camden, as you said, central London. And you've got a few others like Nerd Base is in Essex, which is a county just outside of London. You've got the Vintage Toy Monster. He's down on the south coast. And there's a few other smaller ones that are sort of peppered around the country, but there's nothing like having 10 toy shops in one area. And Chicago is quite a big city, but they're not, like one's not like 25 miles from one, and another one's 50 miles away. They're all sort of in the center up to the north of Chicago. Plus, as well, in America, you've got places like GameStop and
thrift
what's
stores.
the other one? Half price books is another one where they do like secondhand action figures.
Salvation Armies, thrift stores, Goodwills, anything out there.
Yeah,
you can potentially find some stuff, Yeah,
it's unbelievable out there. And obviously I've been probably half a dozen times in the last 3 years, and I will be going again. Obviously, I was meant to go to. Oh, I want to cry. But yeah, we'll probably go in October, hoping that.
I'm hoping to go back to Retropalooza in Texas in October. So yeah, head back to Texas with Narc and Greco, and maybe go more than 3 days this time. You know, have you been to America, Aaron,
Yes.
for toy hunting purposes?
Yes. So I
And how was that?
see. I went to Florida. So me and Andy, again Andy's Toys and Models, we went on a toy hunting trip. We went out there while they had a small Comic Con on, Orlando Toy and Comic Con, which I did some videos from that. That was cool. But and then we hit some flea markets up. But again, and then we went to ACME, which is a toy store out there. But like Tom said, like you're in a small area of like an hour's drive, and you've got hundreds of places to go to for toys. Whereas that here, you've got like an hour's drive. I get one sort of action figure toy store. Leicester's a 2-hour drive from here. One toy store. So yeah, it's a very different market for buying toys, but it's a shame, really.
In a nutshell, it's rubbish.
It's a shame, but it also makes it like when the community has toys and everything, and people find stuff. It's a smaller community because so everyone knows each other a lot more, and I think everyone's kind of sort of on the same wavelength, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And because it is a tight community, and a lot of people are social media savvy now, doing it and everything. Like as soon as you find something, everyone's on there like, "Oh my god! Like where did you find that? It's amazing!" Like whereas that if it's everywhere, if I went to a shop and I could buy 200 different Toy Biz car backs, it wouldn't be the same as finding them and here because it's a lot harder.
Yeah, that's true. But like it is fun though to, you know, just head over to America and, you know, being able to just walk around and find stuff everywhere. It's insane. When we went to Texas, like I don't know how I didn't spend more money, but like everywhere you went, you could shoot a video, pick up 1 or 2 things, and it was just like insane, man. It was insane. So yeah,
Got quite a few questions flowing through here. I can't keep up.
yeah.
Yeah,
We also have Technodrome and Toys who popped in. The higher resolution pictures you sent me, I will do like a re-upload of the Toxic Crusader discussion thing, and I will add those on top of it. But showing it within the live stream is kind of hard because they're higher res. But thank you for sending those in.
And it is awesome.
It looks freaking awesome, man. You did a great job on that, and thanks for joining in on the live stream, buddy. So, do you toy guys have a split in the community? RE, what does RE stand for? YouTube between
yeah, YouTube.
Okay, that do it as a hobby and those that are here to make money living. I think like for me, what I've found out is that whenever you meet a new vendor, you start from like a bad perception, like, oh, he's a reseller. But once you start talking to him and you get into like what he's in, and you obviously understand, oh, he's just doing this to sell stuff and make money for his Power Rangers collection. Maybe he's into Transformers and that's why he's doing this. Like, obviously there's some, bad apples out there just trying to resell and getting like, popping that He-Man up at $75 or 60 quid because, somebody might come and pay it. But, there's enough guys out there that find cheap lots at flea markets and they'll sell it marked up to make some profit, but they'll sell it at a decent price for a collector. I don't know what you guys feel, how you guys feel about this, Tom.
What with reference to the question, I'll be honest with you. In the UK, I mean, America might be a bit different, but Aaron might say the same. But I can't really think of any YouTubers in the UK that, in regards to what we do, like toys and that, who on a massive scale, like 100, 200, 500,000 subscribers, to the point where you can have it, where you can make money from it. So there isn't really a split here, because most of the YouTubers like me, Aaron, Bugsy's Toy Box, there's quite a few that are quite small channels, with X amount of subscribers. Anyone who's watching who follows my channel knows I've been pretty shocking lately with YouTube. I've been quite lazy. I think I put like 2 videos out in 2020. Considering all things what's going on, I should really be putting a lot more out. But yeah, I don't think there's certainly no splits. Like there's no big guns in. I don't know, Aaron. Do you think there's any big guns in the UK?
Yeah, I'd say they're not in toy collecting, in toy YouTubing. I think it's a very niche and very small amount of people in the UK doing it, which is why it was, I think.
Like, do you ever see Toy Polloy over at shows? Because I know he hunts at some
I've met
shows,
Toy
right?
Polloy once, yeah. But his videos come from restoring vintage toys and stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're great if you want to learn about that stuff, man.
Yeah.
No,
I met him.
He's a bit different. He's probably, I wouldn't say, to be honest with you, it was actually Dave at Toy Polloy that got me into YouTube, because when I first started the channel, he was the one who told me what to download with regards to software. He was the one who like video editing. The video editor that I use is probably one of the hardest ones, and it was the one I started with. It's not simple or anything. So I've gone from him. He gave me all the tips and hints. But yeah, he's very different to us because he is a collector and everything. But he's actually putting something out there that's, we're more entertainment, like me, Aaron, and other guys. We're showing people what's going on at toy shows. We're showing people what's going on at boot sales, and I'm going to toy shows on the other side of the world. I'd say he's more educational, because he's showing people how to fix up a Beta He-Man or a Beta Star Wars figure, instead of going and splashing another 20, 25 pound on one. But I think his channel's great. I know, it's very indifferent in the UK. Some people in the community don't like what he does, but I think it's great. I don't think there's any harm in what he's doing, to be honest with you.
But also, like, going back to like the toy things, like when, especially like obviously Tom started doing it before me, I started doing it, the Bugsy boys started doing it, and there's a few other people now at the shows I see walking around doing it. It was very new. Like, it's a new thing in the UK toy thing. Like, and I still don't think some of the people that run toy fairs kind of understand it a little bit, and there's still some people there that like shield their stuff on their stall. They don't want to be filmed and everything.
Yeah, in America it's completely different. They'll start talking to the camera as you're walking around with it as well.
It's so, I say new, it's probably only been the last sort of 4 years it's been happening here.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
so I don't think it's ever going to, well, it's not yet at the point of like, oh, look at me, Empire Toys, I'm going to go on another toy fair, so make sure you like, subscribe, and donate to my anything to help fund me. Because I don't think it'll ever get that big, because it's still quite niche. But I think from what I know, watching Stuart's videos, he's very much into the gaming side, and I think it's just a different. There's more of it happening. There's more people doing it for the gaming side.
Yeah.
Because you look at you look at the channels and like what else to watch, and there's loads and loads of different UK channels for gaming. But if I watch a toy hunting video from the UK, all the suggestion videos are American videos, because it's just not, there's not as much of it here. So I don't think there is that kind of, I'm a like YouTuber toy saying, yeah, give me money. I sort of just say, the way I do it, as I say, look, come to the stall, buy some toys, at least you get some toys out of it.
Yeah.
And the little bit of money from the toys goes into the YouTube.
Yeah, like you were saying before, like the stuff that even comes out of YouTube goes back into the YouTube channel, getting cameras or mics or whatever to make that show work. So yeah, totally agree. Life Anime Gaming has a question. Do you feel that between the UK and the US, which country is better at keeping toys complete and value vintage items?
I'll go first. It's funny. It's weird with the UK and US toy scene because I see things, and some things in the US are really expensive, and you can pick them up cheap in the UK, and then it's the other way around. Like I said earlier, Toy Biz Marvel figures, you can pick them up for like $5 in the States,
Yeah, that's true.
but over here they're like 12, 15. Some people even trying to get like £20 for like the better figures, the figures people want, the more popular ones. But then I see prices of He-Man figures over here, and it's more expensive to buy a He-Man figure with all its weapons and accessories in the States than it is over here.
Yeah, over here, like even Turtles, it's still cheap now, but I think it's rising, man. Like Turtles, definitely. When I went over to Texas and I saw like the movie star Turtles loose, no weapons, 40 bucks. Like over here, you would ask like 10 quid, maybe 12 euros for one.
Yeah,
Because they're a bit rare and they tend to get roughed up more easily than the regular figures. But yeah, I do feel like I can't say it for the A, but for Belgium, it's very hard to find anything in boxes or on blisters. I think we're just that generation of kids that ripped everything open and never kept anything. It's like you were saying a bit before. Like in America, you find lots of stuff. When we did like garage sailing over there, people kept bringing stuff down, which was like toys, but they were still like in the boxes. Some of the boxes were roughed up, but they kept the boxes. Do you feel like in the UK you catch a fair amount of boxed and mint on card stuff, or is that also very tricky to come by?
it does come up. It does come up, but I think I remember like growing up, sort of in the 90s, and buying toys, and toys were expensive, like even back then. So like you didn't get toys. You got toys for your birthday, or you got them for Christmas. You weren't. I don't think many people were as lucky to go to like the shop and like, oh, because you've come to the shop, we can buy you a toy. It just it wasn't like that over here. So so you only really got toys for your birthday or Christmas, and birthday, Christmas, the first thing you're going to do when you open your brand new toy is that you want to rip it open and you want to play with it, don't you? So I think box stuff is not as much over here, but I'm not saying there isn't any of it. There is quite a bit.
We're a small island, so it's difficult. There's so many people like this in America. There's so many people that are clearing out their basements and their garages and having garage sales and doing this. Where we're tiny. We're so much smaller that most probably 70% of the people in the 80s just got everything and went, yeah, buy, in the bin you go. He-Man, Skeletor, Thundercats, Masks, G.I. Joe, Transformers, all in the bin. And that's the way of life, I think, here. So finding stuff now is probably a lot more difficult than in the States, to be honest with you. In regards to that question, I don't really think any country in particular across the board are any worse or better than each other in regards to keeping completion or condition. I just think certain things here are worth that are potentially not worth much. You go to America and it's worth a lot, and vice versa as well, because there's European stuff. I'm not too much clued up on G.I. Joe, but I know G.I. Joe. I think it was the Tiger Force?
Tiger
line?
Force, yeah, the Roadblock or the Outback one, and there's also a UK Spirit. That is
so UK and European ones go for big money in the US because they would never release there. But there's a lot of stuff in the US. Even now, you're getting things like Walmart exclusives, Target exclusive, Walgreens exclusives that are $20. As soon as they hit UK soil, they're 50, 60 pounds because there's no shops over here that are selling them. So, but yeah, that in regards to that question, I don't think either country are at stakes, to be honest.
I think it depends on like the find. Like when you find it and it's good, you know, it depends on getting lucky. I don't think there's places where you can get more lucky. than others, honestly. But yeah, talking about that, some of you guys have been asking, what is your best toy find? Yeah, question for you all from Time Tunnel Toys UK. What has been your best find? Maybe Aaron, you go first. What has been your best find ever, buddy?
I always there's two things.
Okay.
One, because my friend Dan took it off me because like he's a massive Hasbro wrestler. But at the car boot sale, we managed to find an Adam Bomb, which is one of the hardest figures to find. It's just one of the wrestlers. Okay. On eBay, in his condition, he was about 60 to 70 quid, £70. And we found him in the job lot with the ring, with the everything, loads of other wrestlers. And I think I paid £5 for it. So
that's pretty epic.
But my favourite find, again from the car boot sale. Oh, I don't know if I can get it out. I don't know if you can see it, but it's the Green Ranger helmet.
Oh, I used to have that as a kid, I think.
But that is it was like the guy who made it. It was like a Japanese. It was imported from Japan. And
I didn't have it.
It was cast from the like the Super Sentai. So it's not a toy or anything. It's like a proper mold and everything. And yeah, he was selling it at a car boot sale. That's my favorite find.
Man, and that's so great that you got to find that. You know, being such a big Power Rangers collector.
And I've since
How about you, Tom?
Me. Oh, I've had quite a few, but I've grabbed one because this is quite recent. So this is still kind of in memory. This was last summer. I found this at a car boot. Funny enough, I've had millions of not millions. Sorry, that's a bit of a over exaggeration. I've had a handful of hate messages to say that I was lying and stuff like that. You never found this or whatever. But I found this at a car boot sale. This cost me £5 at a car boot sale, which is what, like $7 about roughly, $7 in America. At the time, I thought it was a reissue. But when I did research and I sent pictures and I opened it, sent pictures to some Transformers experts who are massive Transformers collectors, they confirmed that it was real and that it was a pre-rub Transformer. So this is probably one of my finds. This is Soundwave from like
100% fake.
I've seen that on your Instagram, like talking about it. What? It's not that long ago that you found this one, right?
No. This was boot sales last season, so this would have been
about this time last year. It was quite early on, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I think it was about April, May last year. I found it, but it's got all the other cassettes in here as well. The original cassettes. They obviously didn't come with this, but when I opened it up, I was so shocked because obviously when I went, the strange thing is that the guy was a games dealer at a car boot sale. So he sold Sega, Nintendo. He had Saturns, Mega Drives, NESs, N64s. So I was thinking, he obviously knows what this is. He knows it's going to be worth maybe. I've been told it's worth between £200 and £300. But when I said how much, and he was like, "Oh, you just give me a £5," and I was like, "What?" So yeah, that's my most recent great find. I've had a few people offer me quite big money for it, but it's in my Transformers collection, which is behind me here. So yeah, that's
I think Greco is gonna go nuts right now, like seeing that thing, or he's just gonna go like, whatever. I'm Greco. I'm the Grec. Y'all are gonna get Grec. I can't do the Grec voice though. So
he gets enough good finds on his channel.
Sorry,
he gets enough good finds. He can let one slip.
It's the stuff he finds, man, over in Massachusetts. Now you know where he is. Go find him.
It's everywhere. I say it's everywhere in America. Every corner of the state seems to have little golden pots everywhere of garages that someone just opens, and it's like, ta-da! It's 1985 again.
I have to say, like, my best find was probably finding, at a garage sale over 400 games from an old video store. Paid €80 for all of it, which is like what, 20 cents, 40 cents, I don't know, I can't count. Other than that, last summer, Matthias, who helps out the Behind the Collector videos, he found a Turtles NES set for €50. That thing goes roughly $300, $350, or €300, something like that. So that's a pretty good one. And like, there was one epic find in like my hunting grounds, and I didn't go that weekend, but this guy found about 30 or 40 He-Mans on card
No way.
for €1 a piece.
What?
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we
That is
move on to the
amazing.
next question, please?
So it was like, seriously, did this just happen? And it
Was
was
he
like
a collector?
yeah, he's a collector. Yeah.
So there's in his house.
What?
He's a collector. He's got them, and he's got them in his collection now.
Yeah, but there were multiples, so he actually divided it up between collectors, and some of them he put up on eBay. So like some buddies of mine actually have one Mosquito from that lot. They have one what is it? Snake Face was in there.
Oh,
There was
I remember seeing this. I see this in one of your videos, I think.
Yeah, there was also, I think, a couple of Skeletors with the cassette tape. Very rare. So yeah, that is probably like the best Finnish score in Belgium for like spanning in the last couple years that I know of. I mean, there's probably going to be better ones out there as well. Yeah, tie into that. Lore Legends asks, if you guys could only collect one toy line for the rest of your lives, what line would it be? Tom, let me know.
Oh, God.
Is it Gremlins?
Yeah, but Gremlins is not really a toy line, is it?
It's true.
So if you're talking about a toy line, it's a little bit difficult. I've got a massive Gremlins collection, but they didn't really, apart from NECA, that I bought them out recently, they didn't, in the last sort of 5 to 8 years, there isn't, oh God, you've put it on me now. You know what? I'll tell you what. One of the things I'm collecting, well, I've collected, shall I say, massively at the minute. And obviously, anyone who's got Disney Plus will know that it's on Disney Plus, and it does, with regards to nostalgia and everything, it does hold quite a solid place in my heart of nostalgia, if that's how you want to put it. Is the animated Spider-Man collection from I think 93, 94 when animated Spider-Man come out. So here off camera, I've got carded. I think I've got about 45 figures.
Yeah, they're like next to like the stairwell or something. Like...
No, I've swapped it all around now.
Okay.
Yeah, I will. You know what? That could probably be my next video. Is I can do a little room tour, because I haven't done a full room tour video up here, and I've lived in this place now for just over 2 years. So
I saw you upload those new pictures, so you should definitely do one.
Yeah, I'll do one. But I think Spider-Man as a toy line. But yeah, if it was just a line, just any line with merchandise and everything, then yeah, Gremlins is above everything in this room. So
yeah, okay. So yeah, how about you, Aaron?
Funny enough, when the other night when me and the guys did the toy division stream, the same question came up, and it kind of divided a bit of opinion of why I went with it. So I went with Power Rangers will be the one toy, because I think they display better than my Star Wars. Like having all the Zords out and everything, and like the helmet and all the stuff up there, I think it displays better being like an adult collector than like Star Wars does. But it's hard though, because like I remember I probably enjoyed when I was younger as a kid. I probably enjoyed like playing with my Star Wars figures more.
Okay, all right.
It's such a hard question, because as an adult collector, yeah, keep the Power Rangers, they look awesome. But if I was a kid and I had to ask the same question, I think I would have kept my Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, all right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you're definitely torn between the two. Like, which one do I pick?
I definitely on my collecting wise, like I collect odd things from different toy lines, like the things I like, because I like all toys, but I don't have like an affection with some stuff because I don't remember it as a kid.
Yeah.
So like
Turtles, you do have an affection with one toy line.
What's that?
Funkos.
One? Oh man, I love Funkos.
Yeah. You mean like the Funko Pops, or like the He-Man re-release type stuff?
They're not toys. They're not toys. It's an internal joke.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like Funkos. I'm not a fan of Funkos.
Yeah, me neither. But I mean, if you're into it, go ahead. Like,
Yeah, well,
it's
yeah.
got some
If you're
cool
into it,
pop
yeah.
culture stuff. Some like Jurassic Park wise, it's got the Ian Malcolm that's lying down like that. We would never get an action figure like that apart from a
No.
Funko Pop. That's
Yeah,
that's
no,
that's
but
pretty cool. I think for me, it's definitely TMNT.
Oh yeah, for sure. You.
Turtles, like anything merchandising. One thing I did pick up during Corona is actually this thing. Had it not fly in, had it sent to me from Holland. This is a vintage 1990 Mirage Comics TMNT cap. So yeah, that's like my latest pickup. Love turtles. So yeah. Let's see what else we got for questions.
Loads of comments. I can't keep up with it.
It's going.
A lot of people put in what they would have if they could only choose one toy line. A lot of
Jurassic
people would.
Park's a great shout though for a toy line to keep.
Turtles. Someone Retro Ryan said, "Hey, Masters of the Universe or Turtles second." Creative Bamfar Enrique said, "Oh no, sorry, he's talking about something else. He's finds Goodwill Sentinel. Oh, found a Sentinel at the Goodwill for $3.99." There's a lot of comments.
Yeah.
Nostalgic. Oh, Nostalgic's here. Hello, mate. Sorry, I didn't see you. I watch your flea market videos of quality. Absolutely love them.
Burn those Funkos.
Who said that?
We said
Dave
that.
Lawson. Don't you'll get upset. You'll get upset with Aaron. Aaron's going to get upset with you.
It's all right, Dave.
Cocoa Pops? Dave,
that.
burn those photos.
No, I got a love-hate relationship with them. Like, I've got some that I've kept
Daleston, that's also cool.
Fit in with my collection, but
yeah,
that's about it.
Greco's asked you to do your best American accent.
Are you going first?
So,
I can't do it.
Yeah.
I'll attempt. You got.
Can each of you take turns talking in an American accent?
All right. Okay. Welcome to Ed Retro Geek Out's live stream, featuring Tom Pizarro and Aaron from Empiretoys 1138.
You'll do it. Yes, better than mine.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Tom from Pizarro's Pieces. I don't know what part of America I'm from, but I'm from there anyway. Ed's already got an American accent, so you don't need to participate.
I think like I learned American or English when spending summers in Canada actually. So, but I don't have the A or like the about stuff going on. I don't know why. I think I just watched too many Simpsons. But lately, from like hanging out with the Texas crew and watching Retro Rick, I've been getting a little more into like the Saturn playing stuff, Now people are probably going to hate me and unsubscribe. So let's head over to the next question.
All right. No offense.
Yeah, I think we just got wrecked. Question: is there a toy line you don't collect that you wish you could, Aaron?
Wish I could. I don't know, because really, I could collect any toy line, I think, if I just went out and bought it. But a toy line that I wish I had as a kid probably would be, I think, like G.I. Joe sort of stuff, like having like loads of like figures with loads of tanks and jets and all that sort of stuff. That would have been awesome as a kid. But I think that's as far as I can go, because I don't know, because I collect what I like. So there's nothing that I don't collect that I wish I could.
Is there anything?
There's so much more stuff I wish I had in my collection, from what I collect. But yeah, as a kid, probably I'd love to have had G.I. Joes.
I'm in agreement with Aaron. There isn't anything, everything in this room I've got because it's either nostalgic reasons or because I'm into the film, or I'm into the cartoon, or I'm into the TV series. I think a lot of people like at our age are probably at a position in their life where if they wanted something in their collection, even if it's expensive, you could probably save up for it over a period of time. So there isn't any toy lines that I'll that I don't have here that I wish I had. I've got a little bit of pretty much a lot of toy lines, a little bit of something in this room. So yeah, no, there's nothing for me on that one.
Yeah, for me, it's been like I've been actively pursuing the stuff. I want to get like the Mad Balls, the Boglins and stuff, and now I actually have those. I think I said it on one of the last streams. For me, what I really want to get into now is Mummies Alive. Try finding some of those toys and maybe some older stuff like Clash of the Titans, Kenner toys, and also Star Wars, like finished Star Wars toys. I have none. I want to get like a Rancor and a Tauntaun, stuff like that. Some of the figures. But it's really hard to get into for me because I don't know. I bought the Mark Bellamo book on it, so I'm reading up on it, trying to figure out when I actually find one of those toys that I can identify is this a good buy or not. So yeah. What are your thoughts on voice actors' autographs on toys? How about you, Tom? Is there any voice actor you'd like to get your toy signed by?
Oh yeah, I mean, like Skeletor, Alan Oppenheimer. I can't pronounce his surname, but I think it's okay. I think it's fine. Skeletor is a fictional character from a cartoon, and there isn't unless you were getting a movie version of it signed by Frank Langella, then yeah. I think the voice is the next best thing. I think it's okay. I think it's quite a cool concept. There isn't enough. I know one of the Comic Cons in the UK, they had Frank Welker and who plays Megatron, who's voiced Megatron, and many other cartoon characters over the years, and Peter Cullen, obviously, who does Optimus Prime. So I think that's pretty cool. I'd happily get a carded vintage figure signed by one of them. Not that I've got a vintage Skeletor carded in my collection, but if I did, if not, maybe a nice piece of Skeletor artwork or something. I think it's quite a cool concept, to be honest with you.
Yeah. How about you, Aaron?
Yeah, I think.
Is there anyone you would like to get a toy signed by?
I've got a couple of Green Ranger bits signed by the Green Ranger, Jason David Frank. So
yeah.
I've got a couple of them signed.
Epic.
But is there anything else I'd like to get signed? I don't know really. It's the same. Like there's no different in getting a voice actor for Transformers to sign an Optimus Prime than it is to get an actual actor to sign something. But I don't know. I'm not really into that much signings. So
yeah,
Jason was the one I wanted to get done, and I got it done. Yeah. And I don't think there's anyone else out there that. I tell you what, actually, I'll tell a lie. Get Harrison Ford to sign a Han Solo figure because I know how much he loves the figure and
that's
how much he loves that character.
Yeah,
exactly. That'll be one to get done.
To sign something.
Yeah, exactly. That mission.
They'll probably sign it Indiana Jones or something.
Yeah, you know it. Even that would be amazing. And that's when you.
That would be amazing, though. Yeah. For me, it's really difficult. I know. I remember being at Comic-Cons, seeing Face and Murdoch from the A-Team, being really into it, and just watching them from afar and being like, okay, I'm gonna look at some more toys now, but waiting in line to get like an autograph. Same thing with the Toy Hunter, Jordan Hembrow. I got to see him do like a panel at Antwerp Comic-Con, or Antwerp Sci-Fi Convention is what it was called back then. They really wait in line to get him to sign anything, and like even Kevin Eastman came down to Belgium a couple times already since I've been collecting. Like, I don't know, like waiting in line and then, paying money to get something signed. I don't think it's stupid, but it's something I don't have a desire for it. I think there's people out there that would really love to get something signed. I think I just haven't found that one item or that one special person that I want to pop my cherry signing toys with, Yeah,
I've got several items in my collection that are signed. I've got a Gremlins figure of Billy, Zach Galligan, signed, and that's in like a boxed frame as well. Obviously, I'm a massive Gremlins fan, so that was really cool to get. But more recently, I also got Robert Patrick from Terminator to sign a T1000. Is it T1000? And also the guy from Karate Kid who's in Cobra Kai. I've got a signed NECA figure of him. But that's pretty much it. I'm kind of similar to you. I'd rather invest £200 into toys, to be honest with you, because the signatures are quite expensive. Anything from £20 up to some of the big names charge hundreds. So, but yeah,
I do think you're not just paying for the signature, though. You're paying for the experience of meeting the person, or at least being in his or her presence for however long it takes.
It depends on the person, though, because I know some people, some of those people, when they sign stuff, they are literally just like, "Thank you very much, thank you very much, thank you very much." Whereas, like, some people actually, like, they take good, like, you wait in line for ages because everyone gets a good, like, couple of minutes getting their money's worth. And I know, like, one of the times I've, like, twice I've met the Green Ranger, he's signed free stuff for me, just for the pure fact that he's just like, he's so into it. So it's hard, like you said, Ed, like it's not me. I'm not into it, but people are, and they might not be into buying toys. So everyone's into their own thing.
Yeah, man. It's true. It's true.
Say no to Funko Pops.
Say no to Funko Pops. I mean, you can have any Funko Pop sign. I don't care about that, but stay away from the vintage toys, because that's like the whole different thing about it too. Getting something signed, if it's a vintage piece, does it devalue the piece for you, or does it upward the value? I think it depends on the collector, but what are your thoughts on it, Tom?
I don't know. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it depends on the collector. Because really, in theory, if a carded toy is worth £200 and you pay £50 for a signature, in theory it should be worth £250, but that's not always the case. I do think that a lot of people will say, I don't want that, I want the original product. So I think I
don't want the signature,
Yeah, so I do think some people would think it's devalued. I don't really know, in my own personal opinion, what I think, to be honest with you. Would I go and get a £400, £500 vintage carded He-Man figure signed? I probably wouldn't, if I'm honest with you. Me personally, I think it's there. It's nearly 40. Them sort of things are nearly 40 years old. 40 years old, nearly. Well, yeah, 81. So not far off being 40 years old. The He-Man figure. So yeah, not for me personally, but each to their own, I guess.
Yeah. How about you, Aaron? Does it like upward the value, or does it decrease the value?
To me, it decreases it. Like, if you said to me, here's toy A plain in its box, and here's toy B, but it's got the signature, and the signature is an extra £50 on top of that, I'd take the A. It's got no value to me with a signature, because I think, to me personally, like, if you wanted the signature, you're going for that experience. Like, if you buy something secondhand with his signature on it, there's no experience behind it.
Yeah. So a couple years ago, like, Kevin Eastman started doing that, like grabbing turtles from his own collection and signing them and popping them on like some sort of blister and selling those. And those got out to the public. Of course, people bought more than one or two, and they started, reselling them. I think originally it was like something like 40 or 50 bucks. And now when you see them in Belgium, it's like 100, maybe 80 euros that they're charging for it. Yeah. Okay. It's got the signature on it. And that's like the sole purpose of having that toy. Cause usually it's like, an undercover Donnie, or not uncommon turtles. It just got the signature. So it definitely is you just buying Kevin Eastman's signature on a turtle. That, like, I kind of get that, and I think it's less nerve-wracking for me than to see another vintage toy have like a signature on it, So yeah.
Laura Legend said, "Would I say no to a Gizmo Funko?" I actually have got, as much as I don't like Funkos, I have got the Gremlins ones. They are
Traitor.
traitor to
And
the
do
cause.
you keep them in your like embarrassed box, or?
You can see them. They're somewhere down there. You can see them amongst. I've got all four of them. The Gizmo Stripe, Greta, and the Flasher Gremlin as well are in a collection somewhere over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, general rule of thumb is I don't particularly I've got no other Funkos in my collection, so
You might like it.
Like the NECA ones are great as well. Like the big spider one, love that guy. I have like the bat as well, but looking to find more, honestly. You have the giant ones, right, Tom?
What the ones you just mentioned, the spider and the bat?
Yeah, but you also have like the giant ones. No?
What is this one?
Yeah.
Yeah. My little sidekick.
I think I saw that at like Dallas Fan Days, and it was like $200 or $400, something like that.
I think when I got that one the week it came out in the UK, and I paid £200 for it, if I remember rightly. Oh, he's fallen over now.
Yeah. Okay.
Just saying, Ed, Vic just put a comment in there saying she got her Lara Croft figure signed by by the lady who voiced Lara Croft at one of the Comic Cons we did.
Yeah, I think like gamers would definitely be impressed by that. Lara Croft, like those action figures actually do pretty well, I think, right?
Yeah, Vic loves it. Vic's got like a shelf full of Lara Croft figures, all the way from the PS1 game up to a couple of like the Angelina Jolie figures and everything, and they're awesome.
Yeah, I mean, if I would find one at like a car boot or a swap meet, it's like a couple of euros, I'd pick it up, just to have in the collection, like shelf decoration, not to build like a collection on, but just to have. Retro Ryan asks us, question for the three hosts: name a popular toy line you never liked at all. How about you go first, Aaron?
For me.
Yeah, Tom, you
can't say Funkos.
No, I'm not going to say Funkos, because Funkos is technically not a toy. It's just it's a collectible. I'm probably going to piss a few people off with this answer, but I've never been into Star Wars. I've never been into Star Wars. I like the movies. I like the first 3 movies. I thought they were great, but I never grew up with Star Wars. I grew up with He-Man, Transformers, Dungeons and Dragons. Star Wars kind of passed me, Thundercats, and a few other toy lines, Brave Star. But Star Wars was never a thing for me. There's not a single Star Wars item in this room, not a single one. But I do like the 3 original films. The ones that have come out since then, some of them are a bit meh. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but yeah, Star Wars is one that I've never been into.
Okay.
Aaron?
How about you, Aaron, buddy?
Again, a toy line that I've never really been into. It's He-Man.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. And I know, don't remember, this is me on Ed channel. This is no way represented on Ed at all. Please don't hate me.
No, man. I mean, your opinion.
For an actual toy line, like everything, like I think it's like what it done for toys and everything. Like I love the toys that made our show on it. I find that really interesting. But it does nothing for me. Like the figures and everything, like yeah, He-Man Skeletor is like the classic good guy, bad guy, and that's about as far as it sort of goes. Like it just doesn't do anything. I think the vehicles are stupid. I think please don't hate me.
In fairness, I don't really collect the toys, and anyone who follows me or any friends of mine knows that I've got a huge Masters of the Universe collection, but 90% of it is merchandise. So there's things like alarm clocks, pencil cases, board games, cassettes.
Yeah, I've seen that in your videos.
Yeah, all that sort of
amazing
stuff. Toys, I've only got a few that I like. So I've got the Horde, and I've got a few of the modern ones, but that's it. I've got no real interest in the toys because I had a lot of them as a kid. Again, that might be why, and probably the merchandise is more fun to collect because it's kind of, I say it's never ending with Masters of the Universe merchandise. It is kind of never ending, to be honest with you. Whereas the toys, you could have a complete collection pretty quick if you wanted. If you scoured eBay and everything, you could do it pretty sharpish. There's no fun in that, to be honest with you.
I say like if I was a kid of the 80s, I definitely think I'll be a Thundercats kid and not a He-Man kid.
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah. Again, it comes down to like, I don't know. I just think it's me. Like my personal opinion on it.
I think for me, it's more like what I'm less into. I'm less into. What the hell is he saying again? This Greco dude.
Do you ever wear your hat backwards?
Now I do. I'm less into Mask and less into Power Rangers. Like Power Rangers first season, like it. It's nostalgia for me, and that's probably why I like that first line. But everything after the movie kind of like destroys it for me. That's freaking awesome. You got the eye of Pandora there. And Mask, it doesn't click with me. I don't have like a nostalgic connection with that. I do have one with Dino Riders, which are kind of the same, like Mask, but Mask, yeah. Whenever I find it, I kind of like keep it for a couple weeks, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna trade this with somebody to get some stuff I really want. So that's like one toy line that I have never gotten attached to. In like the whole in lag the whole toy hunt thing, yeah.
Any more questions?
Yeah, but I think like we're running out of time, so I think we're gonna do one more question, and it's actually one of mine, if you don't mind me asking. What do you think toy wise the UK has more of a bigger focus on, like you guys were saying before? He-Man toys are fairly cheaper compared to the USA, but are there also UK native toy lines that are based on cartoons from there that like the other parts of the world aren't really into, but that are quite big there, or is it really depending on how well a American cartoon did back in the day? Maybe you go first, Tom.
I think most of the big toy lines here are definitely and cartoons are definitely American based. There was probably a few British animations in the 80s and that, but may have not necessarily had toy lines like Danger Mouse, for example, that were popular here, but might not be popular in other parts of the world, but never really had toy lines. I don't. In regards to what did you say? Did you say what toy lines are sort of the main focus here in the UK?
Yeah, that you see that there's like a lot of people into.
I mean, obviously, Star Wars is obviously the main one, without fail. But I think Masters of the Universe in the last 2 to 3 years has definitely come up there, as is Transformers as well. But some of them are starting to creep up, like Mask, G.I. Joe, some of the other toy lines. I mean, G.I. Joe's obviously huge in the States, and it was quite big here as well. And obviously, it was G.I. Joe and Action Force in the UK. Again, toy lines that I was never into as a kid. I was more into fantasy and monsters and stuff and wizards rather than guns and tanks and stuff like that. It never interested me at all. But yeah, I mean, Teenage Turtles is another one that's massively creeping up because the very late 80s and early 90s are starting to catch on. The toy lines are starting to catch on now with collectors, because some of these collectors have got all the Star Wars toys they want. They've got all the He-Man toys they want. They've got all the Transformers toys they want. So what's their next fix? Oh, my next fix is Turtles, or is it Bucky O'Hare, or is it Street Sharks? Is it Toxic Crusaders? These Captain Planet, these colourful 90s neon toy lines, Biker Mice from Mars and all that. They're all slowly starting to creep up a little bit in price because it's coming around to their time now. You know, it's the kids that were born, that were bring, I'd like to say, that were watching these shows in 93, 94, 95. They're coming to that age now where they're thinking, oh, they either want to become a collector or they're going back for nostalgic reasons. Oh, yeah, it's nostalgia. I want some Street Sharks and some Biker Mice in my collection and all that. So I think that stuff's going to become increasingly hard to get over the next sort of maybe 3 to 4 years. So the 80s stuff is near not wiped out, but it's hard to get as it is. You can see it at toy shows and that still, but buying it's getting really expensive. The 90s stuff is still quite reasonable to buy. Turtles not so. I think Turtles prices have gone up quite a bit in the UK. I'm not entirely sure about the States and Europe, but certainly in the UK the prices on Turtles are starting to creep up for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It's like Doctor Who, something that.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah.
I was
Again,
say
it's
Doctor
not.
Who.
Yeah. So Aaron, you wanna talk about Doctor
Yeah,
Who? Does that have like a toy line and stuff? Because that came from the UK,
you could
right?
get Daleks and stuff and things, and I think it's only in the recent years that when like David Tennant took it over and everything that it kind of exploded onto like the popular sort of world scene. But see, like I said, I grew up in the 90s, so a lot of the cartoons that we watched were just like when I was like massive, like Pokemon was huge. Do you know what I mean? And the cartoons like were from America. The Power Rangers was from America. The sort of shows that we watched as kids were just like Blue Peter and stuff. They weren't. There's no toy lines for them.
Yeah.
But I think Action Force is probably one of the biggest toys that we had here. That, but yeah, I can't really. That's a good question because I can't really think of anything here that was huge.
Yeah. Okay. It's just like a question. Like, does it really? I'm
But then I think
does it really differ that much? If you guys see any trends in there, but
I think there was a lot of stuff. It's more stuff that we didn't get here, like stuff like Tailspin stuff that we didn't really get that much here.
Yeah,
and
us as well. Like Darkwing Duck and Tailspin, both of them are also Playmates toy lines, right?
Yeah, very rarely you find any of that here, and if you do, it's expensive.
Same thing with Bucky O'Hare. I think
Bucky O'Hare is quite relatively easy to get here. I've seen quite a lot of Bucky
things
O'Hare.
Like is it Boneyard Warriors or something, or
Yard Warriors,
and the Food Fighters, and there's a lot of toy lines that people know because they remember them, but they weren't very widely purchased here. Like most of the toy lines that were purchased and bought here were toy lines that had cartoons that went with them.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same for Belgium. Like, there's not really any stuff that got created based on some intellectual property that got turned into a cartoon over here. We did have, some kind of like this guy with a dog in his hand that was like moving his hand because like his arm up in the dog puppet to move it and stuff. But it's called Samson, and that was big, but it didn't have any toys. It had, music CDs, but it was more like, somebody presenting the cartoons that were in the middle, and it makes sense. It was like a total, show, but you would have, Teddy Ruxpin cartoons in between and all that kind of stuff. So I think we're gonna kind of end the stream for today. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, so much for tuning into the chat and getting us all these questions. I want to leave by, thanking my guests, Tom from Pizarro Species and Aaron from Empiretoys. Maybe leave with what videos you have got coming up So we all know what to look forward to. Definitely go and subscribe to these two channels if you haven't already, and leave a thumbs up on the live stream. So yeah, Aaron, what have you got cooking?
I'd just like to say, yeah, thank you very much for watching. You know, I don't do this is my second time live, so if I was a bit awkward looking, that's why. But I've got loft attic toy hunts coming up. I've got more toy division video with my mates coming up. I think we're gonna get Tom in it. We're gonna try and get you in it as well, Ed. Basically anything that I can do that's like in my house.
Yeah.
But that's basically it. Anything I could do in these four walls, I'll try and do it. I've been maybe even tempted to do I do a little bit of toy photography in the garden and everything. Maybe start videoing that and everything, but it's just filling the time. That's it, really. But anyway, thank you very much, guys. I saw some great names out there, so a lot of channels that I watch and everything, and it was good seeing you guys. So thank you very much.
Yeah. How about you, Tom? What have you got coming up? Come on, you got to do that room tour, buddy.
Admittingly, I haven't got any plans currently to do any videos, and I've been quite lazy. I do really enjoy doing live streams because it's there. You're pressing record. It's all live. You can interact with all the subscribers and the guys who are watching, and I do enjoy them. So that's why I've been doing live streams more as of late. But yeah, what you just said, a toy room tour, I'm sure I can muster up a 20-minute, 30-minute video in the next sort of week or so, showing off the toy room. But yeah, short term, I haven't really got any plans. Like I say, I know people like Aaron and Bugsy's Toy Box and a few of the other guys have been putting out short videos of certain parts of their collection. It's just for me ultimately finding the time, and it's the editing that can take a while, to be honest with you. It's not the filming, it's the editing that takes the time. But yeah, I'm sure I'll get a couple of videos over the coming weeks. But I'm due to join Aaron's live stream at some point in the next week, I think, or so. He's going to be doing it. So but yeah, again, like Aaron said, guys, it's been wicked. What's it, nearly an hour and 45 minutes? It's
yeah. We planned for 1:30.
Yeah, I'll be in it's 9 o'clock in the UK. I won't say I'm going to bed now, but I'll be getting in bed to watch a bit of TV or a film or something because I'm up early in the morning for work. But yeah, Ed, thanks for having us on. Obviously, it's been good. First time to have a proper chat with you.
Yeah, it's been fun getting to know you guys.
Someone mentioned here that you should do an English accent in your next video, so I think that's a challenge for you, or UK accent, shall I say, in your next video.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. So what I have coming up, I just released a new video. It's based on the Mega Mutants in the TMNT toy line today, so go and check that out. I will have another video coming out on Friday, and this weekend me, Narc, and the Greg will do another live stream, a live in the attic one. So it's probably gonna go like the main topic is probably going to be toy collecting fatigue or just collecting fatigue, and we're going to try getting another guest on. But yeah, check out the social medias and stuff to see what's going on. It will be on Narc's channel, so definitely tune in. I want to thank you guys. I want to thank everybody for being in the chat. I want to thank my friends over here for joining in and making this a really cool experience once again. So yeah,
very much.
Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next videos. Bye.
Cheers, guys.
And broadcast.